I wanted to share with the world my potentially not so popular opinion, but I will die on this hill. As an educator, one of my jobs is to teach what I believe math is all about, which is not formulas, and it's not angles, and it's not variables. It is critical thinking. It is learning to move past the overwhelm and solve the problem. It is planning ahead. It is strategy. It is progress over perfection. These are life skills and life lessons that can be learned in the math classroom. Today I talked to my students and because I recently updated everybody's grades. And I want them to understand, and middle school is particularly hard about this because up until middle school, getting a 100 is not out of the realm of possibility for most students. Now in my class, I have a curve essentially built in that I give participation points every day. My goal for US students is not to make your lives grade-based. I want you to recognize that there will be units you do well and there will be units that you really struggle with, but showing up and putting participation in matters. So that's why I grade it, right? If you show up, I give you points. And I want you to understand that the big stuff is important, which is why I have a heavy weight on quizzes and grades and tests, projects and tests and things. I take small points off for things like your name. If you don't put your name on it, why would you do the work and not get credit? You don't show your work, you don't label it. There are a lot of things that might come across as nitpicky, but the intention behind that is to develop a discipline and an organization to your work so that you can portray yourself in the best light when you produce something. Life skill. Today, I'm making this video because I had a surprising number of students seem confused when I said, do not expect to make a 100 in my class. Why? Well, there are a few reasons, but I will start with the most optimistic ones, which are, if you make 100 in my class, have I adequately pushed you? No. So for me, I want to push you hard enough that you are challenged, because that is what the world will do. That's what the next level grade is going to do. And I want to push you beyond your comfort zone because that's math and that's life. Now, if everybody got failing grades, then I'm doing something wrong, right? But if everybody got 100s, I'm not doing my job. I'm not pushing you guys. I'm not having you expand. The biggest thing behind that is with math and with life, one of the lessons we don't talk about enough is the willingness to make mistakes. The willingness to make mistakes and then learn from them. So we can make mistakes and then we can feel bad about it and move on. That mistake didn't serve you. We can make mistakes and then learn from them. And as an educator who has quite a bit under my belt at this point, small group, individual, class, differentiated, SPED, advanced, I can tell you that the biggest place students learn, really learn, is not like creative group work. It's not an escape room. It's not timed exams. It's not when they're perfect. It's when they make mistakes. My favorite noise, oh, that happens when they make a mistake and self-correct. Oh, look, another life skill. Admitting and taking accountability for your mistake, looking at it, analyzing the situation, seeing how you contributed to the error, making a correction and learning from it. Oh my gosh, math, this is why I love math so much, because it really builds your character. So some of my friends didn't get it, and I'm wondering if some parents don't get it either, but that's how it goes. I'm not preparing you for anything by just giving 100s easily, by curving up to the point where we're not learning. Now, what I do want to see is progress. Perfection is not my goal, progress is. So we took assessments at the beginning of our year, many classes do, and we're going to take one at the end of the year as well from the same design. And I want to see change. I want to see progress, right? But what I desperately want is for you to understand how damaging it is to expect perfection. And this is the part that might be hard to hear. But when you expect perfection out of yourself, it is not a growth mindset. It's not. It does nothing but shoot yourself in the foot. If you expect yourself to be perfect, then anytime you're not, it is so painful. And you don't learn from it. You run from it. Or you try to fix it before anyone notices. Okay? For me, progress over perfection is so, so important because I want you to see opportunities to learn and better yourself, because your whole life is about bettering yourself and being better for your community, for your partner, for your family, for your job. And so by not encouraging a perfection mindset, I feel very strongly in making sure that I'm not just handing out grades nilly-willy, right? Now, if you earned that 100, by all means, and you will get 100s in my class for a lot of assignments, but to expect that 100 on your progress report and on your report card is not a good idea. So I had this conversation with my students today. It was a hard one for them to grasp, but by the end of the conversation, they understood. And I am hoping that you recognize how valuable math is in humbling us to our own mistakes and to our own imperfections. Now, that being said, I have a very lenient grading policy. My whole goal is for you to make progress, right? So I am okay with you redoing anything. Now, that redo will have a curve. You can get half points back on things. So if you absolutely bomb something and you know, oh man, I didn't put any negatives on the whole thing, I know exactly what I did. Take it, fix it, learn from it, because you're doing exactly what I'm telling you to do, learning from your mistakes. Okay? I am not going to discourage you choosing to self-correct. I am not going to discourage you from correcting your mistakes and learning from it. Oh my gosh, what a hypocrite I would be if I was like, okay? So, yeah, absolutely. Now, we cannot correct on tests or projects or quizzes. That's a thing I have as a policy. And we do not correct things that we lost points on discipline-wise. Like I said, the show your work, the no name on your paperwork. Those are little dings. And that's why I'm saying it is really impossible to expect that perfection. I wanted to make that clear because I think a lot of people have this idea when teachers are the don't get 100 in my class teacher, that they're somehow coming from a place of negativity or coming from a place of callousness, and that's not it. I didn't realize I was that teacher, but I am. Because I want you to focus on the work and really learning, okay? And if you came into my class, I work at a very small school, so if you came into my class and everything is super easy, I'm gonna figure out a way to challenge you specifically. It's a project. If you come into my class and you're struggling, I'm gonna modify so that you make progress in a way that is going to make a difference for you. Because I don't want you leaving my class saying that you hate math. I don't want you to leave my class saying you hate school. I want you to leave my class feeling like you made progress on yourself and in math. I want you to leave my class feeling like you are capable, that you might not know everything, and you definitely aren't perfect, but you can make a difference. Okay, that's my soapbox for today. We are all imperfect, and I don't want to add to pressure that kids already have in their lives. So in one way or another, it will be a freeing experience eventually for them to understand that their worth, their value in life, their identity. Look, I just realized I'm all smudgy from PE today. But look, I'm not even perfect, and here I am making a video. And y'all still like me. I think. Your pressure that you put on yourself, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Because it's not giving you anything. It's not feeding you. It's holding you back. When you release and you allow yourself to make mistakes, that's where we learn. If you release that pressure from yourself and you are no longer afraid to say, is it 12? And have me go, it's actually 13. That's where that's like my favorite spot, is that spot right there. where you get it wrong and we can talk about why, and then you learn and you do this. Oh, love that. Let's have more of that. But in order to do that, we have to let go of this expectation of a 100, y'all. It's not happening, and that's okay. Okay.